Well, dude, we have had a great time. And since October, I feel like you and I have had so much fun doing this and we have learned a lot. I feel like our show has increased exponentially since we started. But at the end of the day, we are not perfect. And I feel like we need to highlight all of the things that we have done this year that maybe haven't always been the best. And so I took the liberty of going back into all of our episodes from our very first time together, which was August 24th of 2022. You and I realigned the NCAA. And I went back and listened to all of our episodes. Not that I haven't already, but in a way that is going to put together a montage of some of our greatest statements that we have ever made on this show. And I've put them together in what is now a 9-minute montage. Somehow we have 9 minutes of highlights that are all bad. I'll be honest with you. But you know what?
Lowlights.
Yes, that's a good point. The lowlights of this show. And while we are learning a lot and having a lot of fun, sometimes you have to take a moment to go back and I guess make fun of yourself a little bit. So I have put this together for you and for the people that are watching. I want to welcome everybody who has shown up since the start of this. A big thank you to you. You get to listen to what we are calling the Cacophony of Gasbaggery.
But he just talks about like the backside of college sports, like what college football, what's really going on behind the scenes, this and that. And he was on Urban Meyer's staff, like even back in the Florida days. And he talks about, he's like, we knew Alabama was cheating. We knew that Nick Saban was cheating. Like we had proof. He's like, we had proof that they gave Julio Jones an Escalade.
Get the fuck out of here with that, Nick. Like, just come on.
Such bullshit.
Come on. You know, like.
Yeah, don't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
What I would rather you tell me is that most of my kids major in football.
And one thing, though, I find interesting is neither one of these teams really has any star power at the skill positions at all.
Except for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but maybe, right? I mean, is that like maybe a little washed up? I think Kirk Cousins gets a bad rap.
He does.
I think he is better than advertised, and when put in the right system, he could be dangerous.
All of a sudden now, you have Kansas State in the AP at 25. Kansas receiving votes right behind them. Where the fuck are we?
Adam Gase deserved to be fired. Like someone should have walked down in the middle of the game just to the sideline and just taken his headset and said, go have a seat somewhere, buddy. You're done. He was terrible.
Now, we all know Herm Edwards because you play to win the game.
If you bought Tony Dungy on Wish, it's Herm Edwards. The Colts, I'm a Colts fan. The Colts have been dog shit so far. So, hey, I'm all about the Jags. Texans don't have enough offense to get it done in that division, and the Titans are kind of a hot mess right now.
Carson Wentz doesn't actually know when anything is a bad idea, and he just does stuff, and it never works out. And I think that that's the difference between the two of them. And I think it is funny to think about Brett Favre today because everybody loved how much of a gunslinger he was, and gunslinger does not work today.
So let's see, you have the Cardinals who are actually good enough to win their own division, the Phillies who barely squeaked by with that consolation prize as the third wild card spot. They don't swing the bat very well. They don't have a lot of good contact. They don't move the ball around. So I think that St. Louis is really going to show them what's up.
Yeah.
The gap, I don't think, is that large.
This is a good one.
I get that, Dak Prescott is the shiny, expensive thing, but if you look at production on the field, and granted, we're only going through a few games, but if you look at production, the gap is not great, and you may have a quarterback controversy at the end of this year. We'll see how the rest of the season goes, but I think it's possible.
Still possible.
And they went to Foxborough with their highest scoring offense in the league and put up 0 points against a third-string quarterback in New England, and left the building 1-4, having lost 29-0 to the New England Patriots, who are nothing special. Man Campbell is on his way to being fired. Bill Belichick has made a move like this before, and honestly, if the Patriots keep winning, I just think Bailey Zappi is going to be the guy. Something that you don't need to see a video of that's just completely stupid is Clemson's fans storming the field after beating Syracuse this week. They had a comeback victory over Syracuse. Apparently, it's some tradition for Clemson fans to storm the field after certain victories. I don't really understand this.
He's so polarizing that I don't think he's just the type, like Frank Reich's the opposite. Frank Reich seems the type of guy that he's very likable and you could plug and play sort of deal anywhere. I don't know that Jimbo's got a lot of friends. What if the Phillies or the Yankees decide to retread Joe Girardi after getting the Phillies to the World Series? They decide to throw a bunch of money at him and bring him back in.
If only the Phillies hadn't fired him earlier on in the season, that might be a great, great idea for the Yankees. He's available now.
look forward to the Thursday night games. It's just fantastic.
Do you actually look forward to the Thursday night games? I honestly feel like the matchups that they give us are mostly dog shit.
I would have loved to see him be successful in Cleveland. I'd love to see Cleveland be successful. They just can't get out of their own friggin' way. I don't think the Eagles are bad, but I don't think that they are what people thought they were, per se. I am not completely sold on Jalen Hurts.
They aren't the team that they used to be, and traveling to the Superdome or whatever it's called now, the Caesars Bowl, whatever.
When can we put to bed the debate of if Kirk Cousins is for real?
Fans talk about, I can't believe he left for the money. And I was like, let me just be clear that if somebody hands you that contract, you could not sign on the dotted line faster.
I really think Jake Herbert's a stud.
Is that your pick of the week? Because you had Jake Herbert as their quarterback, so I'm not sure how much we should be trusting
Justin
your judgment
Herbert,
here.
sorry. My bad. Good call.
For everybody who is putting money on Brad's picks, Jake Herbert is not going to win you anything, so please be careful whenever you do that. No, but the one thing that has to piss you off royally is seeing Brian Kelly at number 10 in these rankings. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I think he's kind of a doucher as a person, for sure. But, I mean, you can't deny his ability to coach. Those two teams control their own destinies, TCU and USC at this point. But a loss by either one of them opens up all sorts of crazy scenarios that could be possible.
I always love it when you do this. USC already has a loss, so they cannot be an undefeated USC team headed into the playoff.
Damn it. You know what? I thought they did, but then I knew it, man. I thought that they did, and then I swear that I heard someone else talking about it, referring to them as undefeated. And I'm like, well, shit, maybe they're undefeated.
I'm going to say this right now. I know the Texans are out there, and I know there's other bad teams. I personally believe the Raiders are the worst team in the NFL because the expectations were high. They have a lot of talent, and it's been terrible. Like, just so terrible. And this has got to be one of the worst losses they've ever had. I feel like Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback to play in daylight ever. Like, he can't play if it turns dark.
So he's Blade. He's the Daywalker.
I feel like Zach Wilson is getting close to the point that we know what we need to know about him, and it's time to move on.
I do think that there will come a time when the right job, the right place opens up. I think he would leave, but he's not going to jump at any opportunity. He sure as hell, I don't think he's going to go to Colorado by any means. For me personally, again, this might be some old man get off my lawn shit, but I have seen enough of Zach Wilson.
I don't want him anywhere near the team because that's kind of attitude. Like, he got benched the other day, and instead of going and being next to the coach, looking at film, hey, what have I done wrong? He goes and he slouches and sits there like some emo teenager.
I'd like to see Dallas make a run. Gosh, I mean, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I feel like they deserve it a little bit. Their fans deserve it a little bit.
Joe Burrow and the boys, without Lamar Chase, have actually been continuing to win football games. I like the Bengals here because of that home field advantage.
Yeah, I think that Joe Shiesty's got it going there. Him and his receiver, Jamar Chase.
And just a terrible, terrible, terrible faux pas on my part. I'm glad that you are here to correct me. Usually it's me doing that for you with Joe Girardi and Jake Herbert. And Lamar Chase is one of the best players in the NFL. Man, I'm sorry, Mr. Chase. I hope that you are not listening. They have had success.
I think we're
there.
safe on that.
I don't know if I see Sean Payton. I don't want to say slumming it up with the Chargers, but it seems a little beneath him.
Run a few passing concepts, and that's it. There's no game planning to avoid Darrelle Revis. My goodness, or his brother Daryl, either
Jesus.
one. We're back to Jake Herbert, Justin Herbert. So
Lamar Chase.
And Lamar Chase. I mean, just all the great.
Man.
The Rutgers Scarlet Knights somehow ranked in the top 25 in anything over the University of Illinois, Fighting Illini. Coach, so let it be written.
Don't do me dirty like that. Illinois over Rutgers. Come on now. Illinois over Rutgers.
Yeah.
You trying to make the record worse?
So let it be done. Yeah, let's give ourselves a round of applause for that. My goodness.
That was well done.
Thank you.
Done, sir.
Thank
I
you.
can't imagine how long it took you to put all that together. That's incredible.
It was worth it for the Colorado take. I'd forgotten about that. There's no way he's going to Colorado.
Not a chance. And the thing is, I'm not the slightest bit like, it's not even embarrassing. It's just funny. It's just downright funny, man. Like that's why we do this to have fun, and that stuff makes it more fun and more interesting. You're not coming here for some stiff statistical analysis and breakdown. You're coming here to hear dumb shit like that, and we've got it. We've got 9 minutes of it right there.
Oh,
We've got it by the truckload here at Iceman and Coach.
I mean, I was just listening to it. I thought, man, we both sounded terrible. Like we both just had just awful takes. My Bailey Zappi take gonna be the starter at the end of the year. Oh God.